Hello everyone, Storm 101 here. Today we'll be taking a look into and having an update on the severe weather outbreak that'll be going on across the south again on tomorrow, actually, tomorrow. So we're going to first take a look into the day 2 severe weather outlook for the Storm Prediction Center. We have a moderate risk for severe weather across south central Alabama through south central Mississippi into Louisiana. And these are some of the very similar areas that got hit hard by last Sunday's tornado outbreak. Do I think this is going to be a tornado outbreak? I have some little doubts on it, but it just really depends on low level shear, in my opinion. So I think the chances for a tornado outbreak is a little lower than last ones, and some people are calling it a major tornado outbreak. I don't think that's going to occur. I don't think we won't see as many tornadoes as last time, but anyways, there is a moderate risk for severe storms. So here's your tornado threat. What's really bringing up to moderate risk is that 50% area, and in that moderate risk area, you can also see there's a 10% area anywhere from portions of Louisiana all the way into South Carolina. And that hatched area means significant tornado probability, which has EF2 or higher, and this is in 25 miles of a given point. So just gotta stay weather aware. Another threat involved with this is damage winds. There could also be some pretty strong winds with this as well, especially for that hatch area, which is over 75 miles per hour. And here's the hail threat, which should stay back to the west here, of all things. You got a hatch area, which it meets 2 inches plus a diameter of hail, but it's also within 25 miles to give a point. So really, the threat's there for a very large hail, a couple of strong tornadoes, and for some damage wind gusts. It's really your threats. And here's my forecast here, at least for the tornado threat of my opinion here. I think the tornado threat should be staying more in central Alabama, central Mississippi, and maybe even far west, western Georgia here. This is where I indicate for some that stronger low-level shear to be, especially along that squall line. But a strong tornado cannot be rolled out in that red area. And the orange area is the uncertainty area I have because of low-level shear is a little weak. And also gives a lower end chance for tornadoes, but it's not 0%. Though keep in mind of that. And here's my day 2 severe weather outlook. And that moderate risk does go into where I have the better probability for tornadoes, which is really 15% hatched. And what's a little different here is that, especially across the east here, it does not really fall along up the coast. There's a little smaller area that I have in here, and here's a little better look of this here. So basically, the better chance of severe storms is really from far eastern Texas, for Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, into South Carolina. And all threats are on the table. And I also forgot to mention about something that there's going to be a flash flooding threat as well with this type of setup. This mainly for Alabama, Georgia, but it can also be for Mississippi. And these areas do not need any more rain. And what the National Weather Service offices are indicated, there might be 4 to 6 inches of rain in a few areas in Alabama. So really have to keep an eye on that flash flooding threat with this type of setup where we could have rounds of strong to severe thunderstorms that could bring down tons of rain and some hail and some other things as well. And let's take a look into the ingredients here. So this is the original NAM model. And we'll take a look at the NAM Nest as well. So this is the Super Soak composite. We'll take a look at the significant tornado parameters as well. As you can see here, it really starts to increase later in the day. So this is really well, a little past peak daytime heating. As you can see, we got pretty high values, pretty much in central Mississippi to central Alabama. This is also where I have indicated for the better chance for tornadoes. And look at this here, guys. This is a pretty bad holograph. That's pretty significant. About as bad as Sunday, but there's a big but in this. I want you guys to take a look at this right in here where I have my mouse in here. So this is your shear. Uh, so your lines are your shear. So basically, moderate shear is really into the middle here. Closer to the white line here, higher the shear is. And we're talking about the low level shear being very low. So it's pretty weak as of right now. So, yeah. And so there might be a strong tornado if the low level shear might be a little stronger. And the effective layers TP is at a 10 at a high end EF4, which is a pretty bad sign. And the low level shear really starts to increase into Alabama later on, and that's a area I probably would target. So here's central Alabama. And as you can see here, you still got, I mean, the hotographs and all the stuff's not that bad, but look at the low level shear. It's actually much stronger. So that's an area I'll probably rather focus on is probably central and south central Alabama for right now. But Mississippi, I'll say the shear might increase a little later on in the day, so we're going to watch for Mississippi as well. That's also another that's an uncertainty area as right now, and I do not have a lot of time, so let's try to get through this very quickly. And as you can see here, really over a 1 is you got a little bit of a 12 rate, and we are showing some pretty good values here. There's a 9.1 there in Alabama, and again, that low shear is kind of strong. The photograph is pretty good, and that's a pretty good favorable environment for some tornadoes, and some of them can be strong. So these are the areas I really want to keep an eye on, and it might extend to south central Mississippi as well. So that's kind of really the bullseye area that I'm really focused on is these areas right in here. And we'll take a look to the NAM nest really quickly. And let's take a look at the future radar here. So you might have some storms, showers of storms that may go by across over Louisiana, pretty much along the Gulf Coast. You got some thunderstorms that try to fire up later in the day, so this is right up peak time heating, 21Z. You got some updraft helicity going on out here across Arkansas, Louisiana. And here comes your damaging wind event right here. And some of those could be pretty damaging. And look at here later on, you actually got some cells, and some of these might be some supercells out ahead of this line across Alabama. And there could be some supercellular storms out here as well. You can see here some updraft helicity in central Mississippi, where I have the better chance for tornadoes as well. And then comes your squall line, which it might bring in some tornadoes as well. So gotta really keep an eye on that squall line there. It might just be like the squall line we had that went through Monroe, Louisiana, where it's going to produce actually a lot of tornadoes, and a couple of those were strong. And let's very quickly take a look into the significatory parameters. It's going to be high, just to warn you guys. And as you can see here, it's quite a bit, it's pretty high. You actually do have some cells in the area, so it's actually going to be pretty good idea to get us a forecast sounding nearby those. And it's actually a 14.7, which is extremely high, right? That is pretty high. And let's see if it's going to load for us. And there you go. And the level of shear is weak, but you really have to keep an eye on that level of shear. There's a tons of instability. I mean, this is a really good holograph. I gotta say, this is a really good forecast sounding. Just the exception of the level of shear being pretty weak. So, but I think later in the day is when the low level shear starts to increase. And you can see here, it pops back up again in central Alabama, where I've been talking about that area down there across the south. Some reports as Alabama, it picks back up again. And some cells do try to develop around there, so This will be our last forecast sounding, and here you go. You can see there with your low level shear being much stronger, especially a little bit higher up. It's much stronger. It's at pretty much at the moderate stage of the shear, but very low level shear. It's still weak, but I'll say that low level shear is good enough for tornado development. But anyways, guys, this is all I care for you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little quick severe weather update for Sunday. If you guys did like this update, hit that like button. If you really do like my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, notifications so you never miss an upload. If you guys got questions about this, you can put the comment section down below. I will answer you guys' questions. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.